Have you ever wondered why your body betrays you in the very moment you want to feel most alive? After 50. Countless men notice their erections aren't as firm as they used to be. Many blame age, testosterone, or even their partners. But the hidden truth is far simpler. Deep inside your body lies a group of forgotten muscles, the pelvic floor. These are the very muscles that trap blood inside the penis and keep you hard. And just like your arms or legs, if you don't train them, they weaken with age. The good news is you don't need drugs, surgeries, or fancy equipment to strengthen them again. All it takes is a few minutes of practice each day. Today, I'll show you 5 powerful stretches every man over 50 can do at home. They improve blood flow, restore strength, and bring back the confidence you thought was gone. Stay with me until the end, because the 5th stretch is the one most men skip, and yet it may be the single most powerful move to restore lasting confidence. Now, let's begin with the very first stretch, the foundation of everything that follows, the pelvic tilt. Stretch number 1, pelvic tilt. This first stretch is the foundation. Without it, the rest of the routine will not work as well. At first glance, it looks simple. You lie on your back and move your pelvis, but do not be fooled. This small movement can wake up the very muscles that decide whether blood stays locked inside your penis or slips away. Dr. Khera often tells the story of Richard, a man in his early 60s. Richard came to the clinic because he was waking up 3 or 4 times every night to use the bathroom. He was tired, frustrated, and felt older than his years. Dr. Khera showed him the pelvic tilt. Within weeks, Richard noticed something remarkable. He slept through the night with fewer interruptions. And, even more surprising, his erections began to feel stronger and steadier than they had in years. Why does this happen? Inside your body are 2 muscle groups that quietly weaken with age. One is the deep abdominal muscle called the transverse abdominis. The other is the pelvic floor, the hammock of muscle that supports your bladder, bowel, and penis. When you activate them together, you create what therapists call a co-contraction. This contraction works like a natural ring, holding blood inside the penis during arousal. That is the biological secret behind the pelvic tilt. Now let's walk through the exercise step by step. Lie on your back in a comfortable position. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Rest your arms at your sides with your palms facing down. Take a slow breath in. As you breathe out, gently draw your belly button toward your spine at the same time. Press your lower back into the floor until the small gap disappears. Now tilt your pelvis upward just a little. Do not strain. You should feel the deep muscles in your lower belly and pelvis tighten. Hold this gentle contraction for 3 to 5 seconds while breathing steadily. Then slowly relax and return to the starting position. Start with 10 repetitions. Focus on smooth and controlled movement. With practice, you can increase to 20 or 25 repetitions. Remember, quality matters more than quantity. Most men describe a unique feeling after a few weeks. It is the sense of locking firmness into place, rather than letting it slip away. That feeling comes from reconnecting with muscles you may not have used in years. A few tips will help you succeed. Do not hold your breath. Oxygen is fuel for muscle control. Do not push your back too hard into the ground. Think of it as smoothing a wrinkle, not smashing the fabric. If you feel strain in your neck or shoulders, pause and reset. The goal is subtle engagement, not tension. The pelvic tilt is more than a stretch. It is a wake-up call. Practice daily. It can restore firmness, improve bladder control, and build confidence in your body once again. Now that the foundation is set, we can move on to the second stretch. This one opens the front of the body and strengthens the hidden stabilizers of your core. Stretch number 2, prone stretch. The second stretch looks simple, but it delivers powerful results. It is called the prone stretch. You may recognize it because it is similar to a gentle yoga pose, but when done with focus, it strengthens and lengthens the very muscles that support your sexual health. Let me share the story of James, a retired teacher in his late 60s. He spent most of his life sitting at a desk, grading papers, over time. His hips grew tight and his lower back often ached. But what bothered him most was how his erections slowly lost strength. He thought it was only age. When Dr. Khera introduced him to the prone stretch, James felt awkward at first. Yet after just a few weeks of practice, his posture improved, his back pain eased, and his firmness in the bedroom returned with surprising strength. Why does this exercise work so well? It targets muscles that often grow stiff after decades of sitting. These include the hip flexors in the front of your body and the deep stabilizers around your pelvis. When they become tight, they create tension that restricts blood flow. By lengthening the front while gently contracting the pelvic floor, the prone stretch restores balance. The result is better circulation, stronger control, and improved endurance during intimacy. Now let's walk through the exercise step by step. Lie face down on a comfortable mat or carpet. Extend your legs fully behind you. Place your elbows directly under your shoulders. With your forearms flat on the floor, your forearms should be parallel, pointing forward. Lift your chest slightly off the ground. Keep your neck neutral and your gaze forward or slightly downward. This protects your neck from strain. Now engage your abdominal muscles. Imagine pulling your belly button in toward your spine. At the same time, gently contract your pelvic floor. Think of it as lightly lifting the muscles you would use to stop the flow of urine. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds. Breathe steadily. Do not hold your breath. Oxygen flow is vital for muscle function. After the hold, relax and rest for 10 to 15 seconds. Repeat 3 or 4 times. As you grow stronger, increase the hold to 45 seconds or even a full minute when done correctly. This stretch does more than build strength. It also creates awareness. Many men describe feeling a new connection between their brain and pelvic floor. During intimacy, that connection means firmer erections, better control, and less urgency to climax. Tips for success. Keep your shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. Do not force your chest too high. Focus on a gentle lift. If your lower back feels pinched, ease out of the position. The goal is balance, not strain. Men who stay consistent with the prone stretch often report an added bonus. They stand taller, walk with more confidence, and feel less tension in daily life. That relaxed strength carries directly into the bedroom. By practicing this stretch, you are not only protecting your back and hips, you are also rewiring the very muscles that support strong, lasting erections. And here's something simple you can do right now. If you've ever tried this kind of stretch before, type the number 2 in the comments. I read them, and I'd love to know how it feels for you. Now that we have opened the front of the body and activated your stabilizers, let's move to the third stretch. This one helps you discover a new level of awareness in muscles most men never even realize they have. Stretch number 3, kneeling ab draw in. The third stretch is called the kneeling ab draw in. At first glance, it looks almost invisible. You are simply on your hands and knees, breathing and tightening your stomach. But what happens inside your body is profound. This is the stretch that helps you discover muscles you may never have felt before. Dr. Khera once met Thomas, a man of 67, who felt completely disconnected from his body. "It's like my lower half doesn't listen to me anymore," Thomas admitted. He had tried pills and even gadgets, but nothing seemed to restore his control. Within 2 weeks of practicing this movement, he told Dr. Khera something different. "I can feel the muscles again," he said. "For the first time in years, I feel like I have a switch I can actually control. Why is this stretch so powerful? Because it targets your transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of your abdominal wall, while linking it directly to your pelvic floor. Think of the transverse abdominis as a corset wrapped around your midsection. It stabilizes your spine and pelvis. When you activate it together with the pelvic floor, you strengthen the foundation that supports sexual function. Even more important, you train your brain to consciously control these muscles. That awareness translates into firmer erections and better endurance during intimacy. Here's how to perform the kneeling ab draw in. Get onto your hands and knees, what yoga practitioners call the tabletop position. Place your hands directly under your shoulders. Fingers spread wide for balance. Position your knees under your hips. Keep your spine neutral, not arched like a cat or sagged like a hammock. Now take a slow, steady exhale through your mouth. As you breathe out, gently draw your belly button inward toward your spine. Imagine flattening your stomach without forcing it. At the same time, lightly contract your pelvic floor. Picture yourself stopping the flow of urine midstream, or gently lifting the muscles deep in your pelvis. Hold this contraction for 3 to 5 seconds. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your neck neutral, and your breathing smooth. Then slowly release back to the starting position. Begin with 10 to 15 repetitions. With practice, you can hold for longer, 5 to 7 seconds, even up to 10. Quality matters more than numbers. Move slowly and with full attention. A useful variation is to shift your weight slightly forward or back while holding the contraction. This activates different fibers of your pelvic floor and adds variety. Men who stay consistent with this stretch often describe a new kind of awareness. Instead of feeling helpless or out of control, they begin to sense exactly when and how their pelvic muscles are working. This translates into more reliable firmness, delayed climax when desired, and renewed confidence. If you find this exercise challenging at first, do not be discouraged. Like any new skill, it becomes easier with practice. Think of it as learning to tune into a forgotten frequency. Once you hear it clearly, you can never unhear it. This stretch is not about brute strength, it is about connection, by linking your breath, your core, and your pelvic floor. You reclaim control over muscles that age and inactivity often silence. And with that control comes not only better sexual performance, but also a sense of empowerment in daily life. Now that you have learned to activate these deep stabilizers, let's move on to the fourth stretch. This one builds raw strength and stability, combining your pelvic floor with some of the largest muscles in your body. Stretch number 4, bridge abduction. The fourth stretch is called the bridge abduction. This is where strength and stability meet. While the earlier movements helped you reconnect with hidden muscles, this one adds raw power to the foundation by combining the pelvic floor with your glutes and hip muscles. You create a strong, stable platform that supports firmness when it matters most. Dr. Khera recalls meeting Robert, a 64-year-old who felt his body was collapsing inward. He slouched when standing, his lower back ached, and intimacy felt more tiring than enjoyable. Robert began practicing the bridge abduction. Within a month, not only did his posture improve, but he also noticed a new sense of control in the bedroom. His words were simple: "I feel supported again." So why does this stretch matter? Your gluteal muscles are the largest in your body. When they are strong, they act like auxiliary pumps, driving blood flow into the pelvis. The hip abductors on the outer thighs stabilize your pelvis, preventing weakness or imbalance. When you combine these with your pelvic floor, you activate a network of muscles that hold blood inside the penis and keep it there. This is functional strength that translates directly to sexual performance. Here's how to perform the bridge abduction. Lie flat on your back on a comfortable surface. Bend your knees at about 90 degrees, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Place your arms at your sides with palms facing down for support. Take a breath, then press your heels firmly into the ground. Engage your glutes and lift your hips toward the ceiling. Form a straight line from your shoulders through your hips to your knees. This is your bridge position. While holding the bridge, gently press your knees outward, as if you are trying to spread the floor apart with your legs. Then slowly bring them back to the starting point. Keep the movement smooth and controlled. Hold each outward press for 2 to 3 seconds before returning to center. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. Over time, increase to 15 or even 20. When you feel ready, you can add a resistance band around your thighs for extra challenge. As you practice, focus on keeping your core engaged. Do not allow your lower back to arch. The strength should come from your hips and glutes, not your spine. Men who commit to this stretch often report more than stronger erections. They feel steadier on their feet, less strain in their lower back, and greater endurance during intimacy. The bridge abduction teaches your body to hold firmness under pressure and movement, which is exactly what you need for lasting performance. If you're following along, pause for a moment and ask yourself, can you already feel how different your body responds when you truly engage these muscles? If so, share your experience and type number 4 in the comments. It may encourage another man who needs this knowledge. With strength and stability now in place, you are ready for the final stretch. This last one is the most overlooked, yet it can unlock the greatest improvements of all. Stretch number 5. Rocking frog stretch. The final stretch may feel unusual at first. It is called the rocking frog stretch. Many men skip it, either because it looks uncomfortable or because they underestimate its importance. But in truth, this single movement can unlock more freedom and firmness than almost any other. Think of George, a 70-year-old grandfather who came to see Dr. Khera. He had been sitting for decades, working long hours at a desk. Over the years, his hips tightened and his pelvic floor grew tense. He described intimacy as forced and short-lived. When he began practicing the rocking frog stretch, the change was dramatic. Within a month, his hips felt looser, his urgency to urinate decreased, and his erections were fuller than he had believed possible at his age. Why is this stretch so effective? Many men carry hidden tension in their inner thighs and pelvic floor. These muscles can become so tight that they act like a knot, blocking blood flow and strangling sensitivity. The rocking frog stretch releases that tension. At the same time, it strengthens the pelvic muscles in a dynamic way. The balance of release and activation is what creates lasting firmness and control. Here's how to perform it. Start on your hands and knees on a padded surface or yoga mat. Slowly widen your knees apart as far as is comfortable. Keep your feet turned outward, forming a wide V shape with your legs. Lower down onto your forearms, keeping your spine neutral and your head relaxed. You should feel a deep stretch through your inner thighs, groin, and hips. Once stable, begin to gently rock your hips forward and backward. The movement should be slow, smooth, and controlled, almost like a wave flowing through your pelvis. Breathe deeply into your belly as you rock. Focus on relaxing into the stretch, not forcing it. Spend 30 to 40 seconds in this position, then rest for 20 to 30 seconds. Repeat 3 times. Over time, as your flexibility improves, the position will feel more natural. You may even find it pleasant, as if the tension that weighed you down for years is finally melting away. What makes this stretch unique is that it is both a strengthener and a releaser. Too much tension in the pelvic floor can restrict blood flow and cause premature climax. Too little strength cannot hold blood in the penis. This exercise helps you find the balance between the two. That balance is the secret to stronger erections, better staying power, and greater satisfaction. Many men report that after practicing the rocking frog stretch, intimacy feels different, more responsive, more connected, and even more pleasurable. Some describe it as waking up muscles they never knew were there. Remember, progress takes time. Do not force the stretch, especially at first. Use pillows for support if needed. And always listen to your body. With patience and consistency, this movement can unlock a new level of confidence and vitality. Now that you've learned all 5 stretches, let's bring everything together with a final reflection on how these simple daily practices can change not only your performance, but your quality of life. You have now discovered the 5 most powerful stretches for men over 50. The pelvic tilt, the prone stretch, the kneeling ab draw-in, the bridge abduction, and finally, the rocking frog stretch. Each one may look simple, but together they awaken the forgotten muscles that control blood flow, firmness, and confidence. Think about it this way. With only 5 to 10 minutes a day, you can restore strength in the very foundation of your body. These exercises cost nothing. They require no pills, no surgery, no machines. What they ask of you is patience and consistency. Most men who practice daily begin to notice changes within a few weeks. They sleep better, they move with less pain, and they feel a new sense of control during intimacy. After 2 or 3 months, the difference can be life-changing. Stronger erections, fewer bathroom trips at night, less tension in the hips and back, and a greater sense of vitality. But beyond the physical results, there is something deeper. These stretches remind you that your body is still capable of growth. You are not finished. You are not too old. Every time you take the time to strengthen yourself, you are sending a message. I value my health, my masculinity, and my future. So, my encouragement is simple. Start today. Do these stretches daily, even if you only manage a few minutes. Notice the small improvements and let them build. Share your progress with a friend who might benefit. And if this video gave you hope, I invite you to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below, not just for me, but for the community of men who need to hear that they are not alone. Remember, your vitality does not fade with age. With the right care, it can be restored. Stay strong, stay persistent, and live with confidence at every stage of your life.